She claimed the trip to Miami was girls only. Then her tagged photos showed her ex carrying her bag. I waited till she came back, then handed her a moving box. She asked, "What's this?" I said, "Hey viewers, huge thanks to everyone who's already subscribed. We're getting super close to 10,000. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and help us reach that milestone." My ex-girlfriend is currently living in a hotel because she thought I was too stupid to check Instagram tags. 3 days ago, she was posting about her amazing girls' trip to Miami. Today, she found out what happens when your girls-only vacation includes your ex-boyfriend carrying your luggage through South Beach. Let me back up to last Thursday when this whole mess started. I'm 31M, work as an electrician, own my own business, make solid money around 95K. Been dating Brittany 26F for about 14 months. She works in real estate, makes decent commission when the market's good. We'd been living together in my house for about 6 months. Things seemed stable, normal relationship stuff. She contributed to groceries and utilities, helped with household things, no major red flags. Last Monday, Brittany came home excited about some trip her girlfriends were planning. Emma's organizing this girls' weekend in Miami for her birthday. 3 days, nice hotel, beach, spa treatments, the whole thing. Sounds fun. When are you going? This weekend, Thursday through Sunday. Short notice, but okay. How much is it running you? About $1,500 total. Flight, hotel, food, activities. Emma's covering some of it since it's her birthday celebration. $1,500 was steep for a weekend, but Brittany had been working hard and deserved to blow off steam with her friends. Go for it. You've been putting in long hours lately. Thanks, babe. I know it's expensive, but Emma really wants to make this special. Wednesday night she was packing, showing me all the outfits she'd picked for different activities. Beachwear, clubbing clothes, nice dinner outfits. She was genuinely excited. "You're going to have an amazing time," I said. "I know, it's been forever since I've done something like this with the girls." Thursday morning I drove her to the airport. She kissed me goodbye, said she'd text when she landed, promised to send pictures of all the fun. "Miss me while I'm gone," she said with a smile. "Always do." Watched her walk into the terminal with her suitcase and carry-on, heading off for what I thought was a well-deserved girls' weekend. Thursday evening she texted that she'd landed safely and the hotel was beautiful. Sent a photo of the view from her room. Ocean, palm trees, perfect Miami sunset. Friday morning she posted Instagram stories from the beach. Her and Emma and 2 other girls I recognized from her work events. Drinks, sunshine, everyone looking happy and relaxed. Friday evening more posts from dinner. The 4 girls at some fancy restaurant, dressed up, celebrating Emma's birthday. Everything looked exactly like what she'd described. Saturday morning, I was working a job when my phone buzzed with notifications. Brittany had posted more beach photos, and something caught my eye. One of her stories from the hotel pool showed her laughing with someone just outside the frame. You could see a man's shoulder and arm in a distinctive tattoo that looked familiar. Derek, her ex from about 2 years ago, had the same tribal design on his forearm. I almost dismissed it as paranoia until I saw Derek's Instagram story from later that day. Same hotel pool, same time, posted just a few hours after Brittany's. His story showed him poolside in Miami with the caption, "Great weekend getaway." Saturday evening, I did some investigating. Derek's Instagram was public, and his most recent post was a selfie on Miami Beach from that morning. Same beach, same time as Brittany's photos. His story showed more. Pictures from the same restaurant where the girls had dinner Friday night. Pool photos from what looked like the same hotel. He was definitely on this girls-only trip. Sunday morning, I found the smoking gun. Emma had posted a group photo from their hotel pool. 7 people total, the 4 girls plus 3 guys. Derek was right there next to Brittany, arm around her waist, like they were a couple. The caption read, "Best birthday weekend ever, with my favorite people." I screenshot everything before anyone could delete it. Sunday evening, Brittany texted that her flight was delayed, but she'd be home around 11 p.m. "Can't wait to see you and tell you all about the trip." I didn't respond. Instead, I spent Sunday night packing all of Brittany's belongings into boxes. Clothes, personal items, makeup, everything she'd gradually moved into my house over the past 6 months. Took photos of everything as I packed it, documenting what belonged to her versus what was mine. Update 1. Brittany got home Sunday around 11:30 p.m., tired from travel but still buzzing about her weekend. I was waiting in the living room with a single moving box on the coffee table. "Hey babe, I missed you so much," she said, dropping her luggage and coming over to hug me. I didn't hug back. "How was the girls' trip?" I asked. "Amazing. Miami was incredible. The hotel, the beach, the food. Emma had the best birthday ever. Just you and the girls?" "Yep, just us four. Pure girl time. No guys to worry about, just relaxation and fun." I reached for the box on the coffee table. "That's interesting. What's this box for, do you think?" She looked confused. "I don't know. Why?" "It's your stuff. All of it, actually. There are more boxes by the door." Her expression changed. "What do you mean, my stuff?" "I mean your belongings. Everything you've moved into my house over the past 6 months. It's all packed and ready to go." "Ryan, what's going on? Why are you packing my things?" "Because you lied to me about your trip." "I didn't lie about anything." I pulled out my phone and showed her the screenshots. Derek on the beach with her luggage. To the hat, Derek at the restaurant. Derek in the pool photo with his arm around her. "Want to explain how Derek ended up on your girls' only weekend?" Her face went white. "That's not what it looks like." "What does it look like?" "Derek was he happened to be in Miami the same weekend. It was a coincidence." "A coincidence that he's carrying your luggage and has his arm around you in photos?" "We ran into him at the hotel. Emma invited him to hang out with us. It wasn't planned." "Emma invited your ex-boyfriend to join your girls' weekend?" "It wasn't like that. He was there with his friends, we were there with ours. We just ended up spending time together." "Spending time together how?" "Just hanging out, as friends. Nothing happened." I showed her more screenshots. "This one's interesting. Derek posted this yesterday morning. Same hotel pool, same time as your girls' trip. His caption says, 'Weekend getaway with my favorite people.' Funny how that lines up." "Ryan, please, you're misunderstanding the situation." "Help me understand then. Explain how your ex-boyfriend ended up on your girls-only trip that you specifically said was just the four of you." "I didn't know he was going to be there. When we saw him, Emma thought it would be fun to all hang out together." "And you didn't think to mention this to me?" "I didn't want you to worry about nothing. So you decided to lie instead." "I didn't lie. I just didn't mention that we ran into Derek." "You didn't mention that you spent your entire weekend with him." "It wasn't the entire weekend." I showed her the timeline of photos. Friday dinner, Saturday beach, Saturday night, Sunday pool. Looks like the entire weekend to me. She started crying. "Ryan, nothing happened between me and Derek. We're just friends now. Friends who lie about seeing each other. I was going to tell you about running into him." "When?" "When the time was right." "The time was right 3 days ago when it happened. I knew you'd react like this." "React like what?" "Like someone who doesn't want his girlfriend spending vacation weekends with her ex while lying about it. You're being jealous and paranoid. I'm being lied to. There's a difference." She wiped her eyes. "So what? You're breaking up with me over this?" "I'm breaking up with you for lying to me about spending your weekend with Derek." "Ryan, please. I made a mistake not telling you, but nothing happened." "Whether something happened or not isn't the point. The point is, you lied to my face about it." "I'll never see Derek again, if that's what you want." "What I want is a girlfriend who doesn't lie about spending weekends with her ex. I can be that girlfriend." "This was just a misunderstanding." "This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was you choosing to lie rather than be honest about Derek being there." "Where am I supposed to go tonight?" "That's not my problem anymore. You should have thought about that before you decided to lie." I walked to the front door and held it open. "Your boxes are right here." Update 2. The aftermath. The next few days were exactly what you'd expect from someone who got caught lying about their ex. Monday morning, Brittany called from wherever she'd ended up staying. "Ryan, I've had time to think about this. I realize I should have told you about Derek being there. You should have told me before you left that Derek was going to be there." "I didn't know he was going to be there." "Brittany, Derek doesn't just accidentally end up at the same hotel in Miami the same weekend as your girls' trip. That level of coincidence doesn't exist." "Okay, Maybe Emma knew he was going to be there. So Emma planned for your ex to join your girls' weekend, and nobody thought to mention this to me. It wasn't planned like that. Then how was it planned? Long pause. I don't know exactly how it happened. You don't know how your ex-boyfriend ended up spending your entire weekend with you? Ryan, please. Can we just move past this? I'll be completely honest about everything from now on. You had 14 months to be completely honest. You chose to lie instead. I made one mistake. You made the mistake of getting caught. If I hadn't seen those photos, you never would have told me. That's not true. When were you planning to tell me? I was gonna tell you eventually. Eventually when? When I figured out how to explain it without you overreacting. So never. That's not fair. What's not fair is lying to someone for an entire weekend while you're with your ex. Tuesday, she tried a different approach. Showed up at one of my job sites during lunch. Ryan, we need to talk about this properly. We talked about it Sunday night, pretty thoroughly. I want to explain what really happened. You explained Sunday. Derek accidentally ended up at your hotel and you accidentally spent the whole weekend with him. It's more complicated than that. Pow. Derek's been going through a hard time lately. His job, his living situation. Emma felt bad for him. So Emma invited him on your girls' trip to cheer him up? She invited him to join us for a few activities. Which activities exactly? Just dinner Friday night and hanging out at the pool. I showed her the photos again. These are from Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and Sunday morning. That's not a few activities. Okay, maybe we spent more time together than I originally said. Maybe. We did spend more time together, but as friends. Friends who you lied to your boyfriend about seeing. I didn't want to hurt you over nothing. So you decided to lie and hurt me over something instead. Ryan, I love you. Derek is ancient history. Ancient history who you just spent a weekend with while lying to me about it. It won't happen again. You're right. It won't happen again because we're not together anymore. Please don't throw away 14 months over one weekend. I'm not throwing away 14 months. You threw it away when you chose to lie about Derek. She started crying again. I don't have anywhere to live. You should have thought about that before you decided your relationship with Derek was more important than your relationship with me. It's not more important. Your actions say otherwise. I went back to work, and she eventually left. Final update, 3 weeks later. Life has been much quieter since ending things with Brittany. Turns out, not having to wonder what your girlfriend is lying about reduces stress significantly. Brittany's housing situation played out exactly like you'd expect. She ended up staying with Emma for the first week, but apparently having your friend move in after a breakup gets old fast. Week 2, she tried staying with another friend from work, but that didn't last either. Turns out being the friend who lied about her ex creates some trust issues in other relationships too. She ended up moving back in with her parents temporarily while looking for a place she could afford on her own income. Her relationship with Derek didn't survive the transition to reality either. Apparently he was fine with a fun weekend in Miami, but wasn't interested in the emotional support she needed after losing her housing situation. Most of her friend group gradually distanced themselves once they realized the drama she'd created. Emma especially seemed to regret facilitating whatever had happened that weekend. Brittany tried reaching out through mutual acquaintances a few times. Always the same story. She'd made a mistake, Derek didn't mean anything. She was ready to be completely honest now. Too little, too late. Started dating someone new recently. Michelle works as a nurse, has her own apartment, pays her own bills. When I told her about the Brittany situation, her response was perfect. Anyone who lies about their ex isn't over their ex. The revenge wasn't elaborate or dramatic. It was just refusing to accept being lied to and letting Brittany face the consequences of her choices. She wanted to spend her weekend with Derek while keeping me as her safety net at home. She thought she could lie about it, and I'd never find out. Instead, she learned that Instagram tags tell the truth, even when people don't. Brittany had a choice between being honest about Derek joining her trip or lying to protect her weekend plans. She chose the lie. I had a choice between accepting the lie or ending the relationship. I chose my self-respect. She got exactly what she chose: a fun weekend with Derek and no stable relationship to come home to. The moving boxes were just the physical representation of what she'd already done to our relationship by lying about Derek. Perfect lesson in why honesty matters more than weekend plans. She claimed it was girls only, but her Instagram proved otherwise. She chose Derek over honesty, so I chose honesty over her. Sometimes the best revenge is just refusing to be lied to and letting people live with the consequences of their deception. Brittany learned that lies have expiration dates, especially when they're documented on social media by people who don't know they're helping you lie. The tagged photos told the real story of her weekend. The moving boxes told the real story of what that weekend cost her.